It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hi everybody, your show is on the road again today in our continuing quest to bring you the best fishing from around our region. We are in East Texas today, and I'd like to welcome you in to beautiful Lake Palestine. Lake Palestine is located south of Tyler, Texas. It has been known throughout its history as a solid bass producer. In fact, a lot of tournaments have been held on Lake Palestine, but on today's show, we are going to explore the hybrid striper fisheries. Yes, that's right. The hybrid stripers have flown under the radar over the last couple of years, but there have been some great catches, and the population is really good here. There are also a lot of white bass as well. And while we're out exploring the hybrids, we're taking you around the region for your latest fishing reports from Oklahoma, Louisiana, Texas freshwater, and the saltwater report along the Texas Gulf Coast. On this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to show you something about the schooling striper activity up at Lake Texoma for the hot upcoming summer months. We'll have the Ask the Pro expert answers to your fishing questions, the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff, show you the gear you'll need if you'd like to catch some hybrids or stripers, and much more on today's show. But first, while I get the Nitro Z8 launched in Lake Palestine, we take you back to Julie in the FSN studios with the Weekend Planner.
Hey everybody, the Salooner tables are predicting good fishing for your Father's Day weekend. Peak fishing on Saturday will start at a little after 9 a.m. and the best conditions for Sunday should begin at 9:45 in the morning. Look for the sun to rise at 6:19 and set at 8:37. Evenings will not have much moonlight, with a waning moon only 8% visible. Stay with us, we're coming right back with fishing updates from all of our anglers in the field. Plus, I'll return with the Whataburger Ask the Pro.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 10 years running. By Excite, start positive, stay positive. By Lose Reels and Rods, feel the difference. And by Onyx Personal Flotation Devices and Rainwear, keeping you safe on the water.
Okay, we got something here at Lake Palestine, and it is a white bass. Here he comes. It's not a hybrid. Let's just hoist him up. All right, well, it's something to get it going. It's not what we're looking for today, but ouch. It's a big old white. Caught him on a big spoon right there. Hey, let me start us off by giving you some facts and all the statistics about Lake Palestine. That one's going right back where he came from, and tell you that this lake is about 25,500 surface acres. It's 58 feet deep at its deepest point. It was dammed up in 1962. The watercolor here is this deep East Texas, kind of a dark greenish color, fairly clear. I can see my bait down about 3 feet. Now we've got thunderstorms working around here. It's real windy today, so I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I'll bet you I can catch a hybrid striper out of here before it's all over with. Let's start things off, though, with your fishing reports from Louisiana. It's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Let's start off with Toledo Bend, where this weekend the BASS Elite group of anglers is going to be there. You want to see some pros in action? Go by Toledo Bend, because there's going to be over 100 of the best anglers in the world fishing this week at Toledo Bend. It ought to be great. Some big stringers coming in. Last week they had a tournament. One of the anglers come in with one over 13 pounds. So I'm looking for some pretty heavy stringers to come in. As far as other freshwater reports, we got a great report this week over in the Chaffalay Basin, where I talked to a couple of anglers. They told me they're throwing small bass assassins called the little tinies. They throw them in black and chartreuse. They're catching tons of white perch. They're filling up boxes full of white perch. But it's a Cajun, that ain't all. We're catching goggle-eye, bluegill, chickerpin, and of course some big old slab white perch. I was thinking about maybe fishing the Chaffalay Basin if you're a perch jerker. Tell you what, Captain Kevin's coming in the dock right now. Let's go to him and let's see what's happening on the saltwater scene on Calcasieu Lake.
It was a little slow. We still brought in 40 fish. I know that don't sound slow to some people, but it's a little slow for our standards over here. Salt plastic, saltwater assassins was the key early. We were fishing about 6 foot of water over some moisture reefs. Caught a few nice solid trout. Then we actually took out some live shrimp. went and beat the shorelines, caught a few reds, picked up a nice flounder. Tell you what, fishing right now, it's starting to get hot. It's getting into that summertime pattern. There's a real good early morning bite and a real good late in the afternoon bite. So if you want to beat the heat, go early or go late. I tell you what, until next time, this is Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing. Hope to see you on the water, and may God bless.
The famous topwater schooling activity at Lake Texoma is about to get underway with the hotter summer weather. And on this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I'm going to show you some of the spots where you can find those schooling stripers. So let's go to the Lowrance HDS-10, the brand new Gen 2 unit with the much faster processor in it. You won't believe the speed that this will draw you some maps. And we show you Lake Texoma is located west of Durant, Oklahoma and Denison, Texas. Normally, most of the schooling takes place in the lower lake, so I'm going to show you 4 spots. First of all, check the open water from the dam to the little mineral arm. Some schooling always happens in here. Secondly, the entire Platter Flats area is a likely spot. Third, the TI Flats area all the way west to the mouth of Soldier Creek. They can come up blowing up anywhere in here. And finally, look for them west of Preston Point all the way to the islands. Bring your binoculars and watch for the diving birds to give you some indication where the schooling is happening, and also keep an eye out for the famous Lake Texoma boat show. That'll show you where the action is happening. There's something. Ooh, that's a good pull. It's either a big catfish or a hybrid or big carp, I don't know. Okay, he's coming right here. What a pull. Can't get him up. Big hybrid, big hybrid. I got him. Wow, what a toad that is. All right, we finally got us a hybrid. Been out here fishing for quite a while and I've caught a whole bunch of white bass. And there is what we came to Lake Palestine to do. Hey, welcome back everybody. We're just south of Tyler, Texas at Lake Palestine. Been a long time since I've been here. Been fishing for quite a while today, looking for a hybrid striped bass, the under the radar species here at Lake Palestine. And sure enough, there is a butte right there. Don't know what he'll weigh, but that's just a good pull. And you saw how hard these fish fight. They're so wide, got so much muscle mass, got so much pulling power that a hybrid striper, pound for pound, is the hardest fighting fish in freshwater, in my opinion. All right, let's put this fish back right here. Thank you for the fight, buddy. That was a real blast right there. Good to see you. I'm out of breath. We got something going, been working real hard. It's high, bright sky, middle of the day. Got some big thunderstorms around today as well, but finally got a hybrid striper. Glad you got to see it, and I finally had to get my net out for that one. You might as well keep a net because it's real hard to lip those fish. They got a real small mouth, and as hard as they fight, you can lose a big hybrid real easy like that. All right, got something working, but right now, let's check in with Brian Hughes, see what's going on with your Texas freshwater fishing and lake reports. All right.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by A1 Locksmith, your choice for gun safes in North Texas. Now ask them about free delivery and they'll help you pick out the safe that's right for you. And trust me, you want to go bigger than you think you do. Now this week we're going to talk about some of the most fun fishing in Texas, and that is the white bass, or sand bass as they're commonly called. And we're going to go to Lake Tawakoni, where the best fishing is just out in front of the state park area. Now you can find these fish one of 3 ways. You can find them on your graph by looking for bait fish. You can find them by looking for the birds that are feeding on bait fish, or you can just look for the huge schools of fish on top of the water. Now when you see these schools, remember, don't run in there with your big motor. Stop about 100 yards away and idle in with your trolling motor so you don't scare off the bait fish, which will in turn chase away the sandies. Once you get there, a variety of lures will work, including live bait, spoons. You can also use some of the bass type lures like a small cordell spot or a small torpedo up on top. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by A1 Locksmith. Let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island. the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, it is hot along the Texas coast, and that is both the fishing as well as temperatures. Summer patterns are solidly in place. On Galveston and East Matagorda, the best bite has been deeper shell. Galveston anglers have been using croaker, while Matagorda anglers are using live bait and soft plastics under a rattling float. West Matagorda's deeper grass beds have also been good. The north end of Sabine has had a better bite in water 2 to 4 feet deep, and in the middle of the lake, the birds continue to work. Texas jetties are giving up a variety of fish. Galveston, Freeport, and Port Aransas have seen rock walkers and those fishing from boats score while fishing deeper depths. Estes and the East Flats, Trailer and Mud Islands, and behind St. Joe have rewarded mid-coast anglers fishing bait. Nueces Bay is turned on with higher tides. Croaker has been the best bait. The potholes on the lower Laguna Madre continue to give up scattered trout and reds on a variety of artificial lures and live bait. Offshore, limits of good red snapper have been caught near rigs and structure. Weed lines are holding kingfish and dorado. And 45 miles out of Freeport, a 200-pound blue marlin was caught. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of 1 high and 1 low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. Quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride. By Whataburger, proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. And by Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineering for angling.
That feels like a hybrid. Oh yeah, that's a largemouth. Look at this. That's a big largemouth. Holy mackerel, can you believe all this? Look at this big daddy, and he's bleeding, so he's kind of messed up on one side too, but there's you a big largemouth right there. It's gonna take me some surgery, so I'm gonna just hold him in the water for just a second here. And while I talk to you, if you can just kind of come down here with me. And he's got this jigging spoon right in the corner of his gill. So I'm gonna have to get the pliers out. And I'll tell you, this lake is something else. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, several different species of fish in this lake. We've got white bass, hybrid stripers, largemouths, spotted bass or Kentucky bass, catfish, big black crappie, just a lot of different kinds of fish in this lake. It's an amazing lake. And in fact, let's go to the map right here, and I want to show you some of the structure that we're catching the hybrids and the white bass and even this largemouth bass on. It's structure that comes up off the floor of the lake. So the deep water is going to be out in this area, and you can see here on the contour map that the floor of the lake comes up and makes a hump, an underwater hump right here. That's the kind of structure we're catching these fish off of. Okay, well, I got this loose. I wound up just cutting that spoon off, but there's the spoon. That's a big Moe's tackle spoon. It's catching a lot of these fish today. It's a big size. You want to use a big one to have a chance to catch a hybrid striper and maybe a largemouth bass with. But that gives you some idea of the structure that these fish are all holding on. Let's let this fish go back. I think he's going to be fine when I can get him out of my glove. There. Goes. See you, partner. All right, well, that's a lot of action going on right here. Let's move along right now and check in with Jerry Dollahan up in Oklahoma.
A while back, we had a note from Jerry Morrison of Sanger, Texas, saying that an Oklahoma crappie report we had given him helped him figure out what to do on a trip to Lake Ray Roberts to catch a nice mess of crappie. Now, that's really a good fishing tip for all of you. When you think about the different reports talking about the lakes for that time in their region, If you'll match up what they're doing for the type of water close to you, you can use those same techniques to catch fish. Now think about that when I tell you this past few days I went to Fort Gibson Lake, fished with Chris Lindbergh from Gina Rue Lures. We threw nothing other than a 3-inch Bobby Garland white slab slayer rigged on a 1/8 ounce Moglo jig head. What we did throughout the day was bounce that on the ledges 9 to 11 feet deep and caught a wide variety of species. We caught white bass, we caught crappie, we caught largemouth, we caught drum, and we caught catfish, lots of catfish. Blue cats, channel cats, and some really nice flatheads. In fact, this big old flathead had to have been close to 30 pounds, a long fun fight with that on crappie gear. Also, Chris had another flathead that had to have been in that 6 to 7 pound range. We caught a couple other flatheads, and like I said, some really nice blues. The catfish are extremely active right now. Look for them in the areas where you see gar rolling. Those gar are on the windy banks spawning right now. A lot of catfish in there with them. Look for those in the shallows. You'll see the activity, the gar rolling, and some shad flipping around. Now, a lot of you probably have had the hopes of being able to design your own crappie color. Well, there is an opportunity for that. It's a really short window, but if you're interested in it, go to my insider report. I'll give you details. It's at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. One thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Hey, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to register for our sweepstakes this month and you might win a fishing trip with our own Texas Insider fishing reporter, Brian Hughes. Now to do that, go to facebook.com/Southwest Outdoors Report, and the first thing you need to do is click the like button in the top right-hand side of the front page. Once you do that, click on the sweepstakes button, fill out the form, and you and a guest might win a fishing trip at Curtis Creek Lake with our own Texas Insider reporter, Brian Hughes.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Tracker Boats, Fish the Finest, by Lowrance, and the all-new HDS Gen 2 with Structure Map Overview, by Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability, by Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro. Our question this week is from Dawn in Oklahoma, who wants to know, what is the shelf life of fishing line? For the answer, we checked with Bassmaster angler Bobby Myers from Jenks, Oklahoma.
That's a great question. You have your 3 basic types of line. You have monofilament, fluorocarbons, and braided lines. Your monofilament is going to need to be changed on a more regular basis than the other 2. Fluorocarbon, I use it until my spool is too low and I cannot effectively make a cast. Same thing with my braid. Braid, even though it'll get discolored, a lot of people worry about that. Don't let that affect you. It still has the same strength. As far as storing your line, you want to keep your line in a dark bag in a cool place. Don't stick it in the refrigerator, but keep it in the house. Don't keep it in the garage during the heat of the summer. This is one sure way to ruin your line.
Thanks, Bobby. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Click on the Ask the Pro link and send us your information. Have a great Father's Day weekend, everyone. Now, back to Barry.
This week's Coaster Catch of the Week winner is Dick Terry of Sulphur, Oklahoma. He is shown with an 8-pound, 11-ounce largemouth bass he caught out of Arbuckle Lake in southern Oklahoma. He caught it in 2 feet of water. In fact, there have been several huge bass caught this past spring and early summer from Arbuckle Lake. And by the way, you people have got to quit wearing those Sooner hats. Dick wins a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses of his choice. You can see them all at costadelmar.com, including this month's frame style of the month, Triple Tail, the same sunglasses I've been wearing on today's show. It comes in 4 frame colors, 5 lens colors, both polycarbonate and 580 glass. Next up, it's the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, where we talk about the gear you'll need to find and catch these white bass and hybrid stripers like we caught on Lake Palestine today. And for me, it begins and ends with my fish finder. I don't talk enough about how important good electronics are to locating these fish. And for me, the Lowrance HDS Gen 2 system is the Cadillac of all fish finders. In one unit, I have 2D sonar, structure scan, which presents me a 3D-like image looking straight down at everything under and to the sides of my boat. I've got the mapping and the contour for all those humps and ridges out there that you would never see otherwise. I've even got a Sirius satellite weather module on the back so I can see the thunderstorms like we had popping around the lake today. The Lowrance HDS system comes in anything from a 5-inch to a 10-inch unit. You can see them all at Lowrance.com. Hey, we had a great day out there catching white bass, hybrid stripers, and even the bonus big largemouth bass on today's show. I think a trip to Lake Palestine would give you a lot of fun for your upcoming weekend fishing trip. I want to mention that next Thursday night's show will be on at 10:30 p.m. with no baseball game conflicts this week, and the show will re-air Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. You can catch all of our latest episodes right on the front page of our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com, and the past episodes of all of our shows from the entire season and last season are archived on our YouTube channel. You can link to it from the front page of our website. And finally, you can see lots of exclusive content that you'll never see on the show on our Facebook page at facebook.com/SouthwestOutdoorsReport. In my opinion, Lake Palestine is one of the most underrated fisheries in our region for white bass and hybrid stripers. We've always known it was a great largemouth and crappie lake, but the whites and hybrids would present you with a lot of fun for one of your upcoming weekend fishing trips. Give it a try. Thanks for joining us on this week's show from East Texas. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.